this.
No.
Yep.
Nope. I'm not.
Hey guys, welcome back to Reticulous Radio. We're here with Snake House. And did you guys kind of want to introduce yourselves and tell us what got you started into rescuing snakes?
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Sara, also known as Dr. Mayes. I am a veterinarian, but please call me Sara. This is my husband, Mirko. We are running a snake rescue like so many other people. There are a few things that's a little bit different though. Snake House is a full 501c3 nonprofit. We also have public charity status. That's one thing that is important for people that are looking at rescues. Make sure they actually have their paperwork, because there are a lot of people that'll say, hey, we have 501c3 pending, and say that for like a year. So that I think is an important distinction. We are focusing on the animals that are hard to rehome or hard to place due to illness or injury or behavioral problems, or sometimes just due to size. Actually, some of these animals really don't belong in a normal home. So we do say no to the surrender requests, actually quite a lot of them, unfortunately. But rescue is really only part of what we do. You guys should interrupt me anytime too.
No, yeah.
You're fine.
No,
That's fine.
Right now.
That makes our job easier.
Our and our logo says retirement home for unwanted snakes.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that is a big part of what we do. But honestly, we don't want this many snakes. I haven't counted in a while, but we have 60 or so, or 70. I don't know.
Wow.
Here at this location, there's probably 30 at our Snake House East location over in Lewiston, Idaho. But we don't actually want all these snakes. We're just giving them somewhere to go because somebody needs to take care of these animals that are being neglected. Yep. My goal, more so than being a rescue, is to help people learn how to keep their snakes. So many people get them as babies, or as a last minute decision or something, and then they keep them for maybe a few years, 5 years, but some of these animals live for 30 years or longer. So I would really like to spread more knowledge about how to keep them for the long run, how to keep them healthy. And I spend quite a bit of time doing consultations with people that have a problem with their pet snake and they need help fixing it. Most of those start out as a surrender request, saying, hey, I don't know what to do. I need help. Can I give you my snake? And I say, well, wait a minute. Let's try to fix the problem. What's going on? And that's always going to be my first goal, honestly, is to keep the animal in the home that they belong in.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
How often? Oh. How often does that work out? Oh. I'll wait. Go ahead, Josh.
Good.
Okay. So, how often does that work out? Where you get a surrender request and someone ends up keeping the snake in the long run and fixing whatever issue they were having?
More often than we actually take them. It depends on the request too. Sometimes if it's a really badly injured animal, or if I can tell that it's a situation that they're not really going to fix, then no questions asked. I just say, yeah, when and where, I'll go get it. But if it's something reasonable, and honestly, 99% of the problems are husbandry related anyways. So most of the time they're willing to kind of talk it through and figure out how to make changes. If that's not an option, I also guide them through how to find homes elsewhere. We have to save spots here for the ones that really need us. If I took in every darn ball python surrender that, our site, we'd be overrun.
You'd have to get rid of the tree in the background.
Huh?
I said you'd have to get rid of that tree in the background. No. So do you guys decline anything in particular, like species wise, or like would you take in like venomous if need be, or anything like that?
Rather not do venomous.
Right.
A lot of responsibility on my shoulders too. So because I also run a vet hospital, and we have a lot of animals here, so I'm really not going to take anything that put me in too much danger.
Okay.
So that was a good one. We're not going to be doing any venomous for sure.
Okay.
And I try to focus on snakes. I actually do get requests for iguanas frequently and bearded dragons, and there's a lot of other animals that need help, but there's a reason that we're focused on snakes, and the specific type of snakes that we're focused on are the ones that are sick or injured or big.
Gotcha.
So yeah, a lot of times we're going to say no.
Have you ever had to take in a new species that you didn't know a lot about, something not as common?
Gosh. What's not common, though, in what I do? I don't know.
Well, I guess, yeah. Well, I mean, usually when I think of like common, it'd be like ball python or Burmese boas.
Retics are very common now.
Yeah, corn snakes, milk snakes. We don't see a lot of would be like macklots or what else? Scrub pythons,
green tree pythons.
Yeah, we have had.
I mean, that's.
Kinds.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just actually had a green tree python surrendered that is positive for nidovirus. That's a whole nother topic of discussion. But I think the more rare individuals or the more rare species are going to be less common out there, and the people that have them are more dedicated to keeping them and providing the right kind of care. People that are surrendering their snakes and needing help from rescue are the ones that just buy the common ones. So really that is going to be rare. But we have had a few that have people have asked us to take in that are pretty special. We have some pretty special individuals here, and they asked us to take them because they want them somewhere safe. You know, they don't want them to be bred more, want them to be handed over and over and over. So we do have a few pretty cool, I guess.
Okay. I know a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people go to shows and they go, "Oh, that looks cool. I'll take it," and know nothing about it. So you always come across one table at a show that has some more rare stuff on it that they probably imported, but
it's not as common to find one of those more rare ones in a type of home that isn't gonna know what to do, or even at least know who would ask for help.
Right.
Now, when you had the green tree python test positive for nidovirus, what kind of so obviously you guys quarantine when snakes come in. You know, I've seen like your quarantine room. Did you guys take how many more extra precautions you take if a snake comes in for nido?
I'm hoping that our internet will hold up, that we can do a quick walkthrough for you guys to see the facility, so you can kind of see our system. For
that'd be awesome.
That specific snake, the green tree python, I knew as soon as I saw him that that's going to be the first thing I'm going to check him for. So he never even was allowed in the building, you know. And quarantine is not about just a room, right? One room isn't technically enough if it's an airborne pathogen, or if maybe it's not airborne, but if you're going in and out of that room, you're going to spread it with, you know, feeding utensils or clothes or, you know, paper, garbage, whatever it is. So I do think people make mistakes with quarantine and don't take it seriously enough.
It's about constant sanitization as well.
Right.
Well, and full separation, right? So, and for long enough, you know, quarantine for 30 days is not good enough. Minimum quarantine here is for 3 months. And for some of the diseases, that's not long. So whenever I get a fancy color morph that gets surrendered and I post a picture of it, I get tons of requests like, I want to adopt that one. I'm like, yes, I've had it for 3 days, quarantine for 3 months, and then stay here for another 3 months after that for evaluation of behavior. It's like, no, this is not going to be available for a long time.
Yeah.
People just don't know what it is.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You want us to do a tour really quick? I don't know if it's going to fail or not. But
that'd be awesome.
Okay, so do you know if I can turn the camera around so I can see what it's seeing better?
Yeah, and the bottom of the bottom of your Okay,
I'm gonna try it. Holler at me if it seems like it's cutting out or something.
All right.
There we go.
Okay, that's the box the phone was sitting on. Okay, so this is. I'll go kind of slow me down if you want me to. This is just our office, basically. We do have a lot of online stuff that we have to do, and medical records are on the website and all that kind of stuff. So we have a separate office, which is nice. A work area, I guess I would call it. So I hope it's not going to slow down. We'll see. But so that's the lizard tower. We do have lizards. But this is where we tend to build more enclosures and whatnot. We've got a Savannah monitor in there. Those are our travel enclosures, so they'll go in a trailer when we go to shows. I don't know, where should I start, Mirko? This is the boa room. So you can see we do have all stuff. This is completely walled off, closed doors all around. So first you're coming through the office, then you got to get through this room first to even get into the animals. We have separate rooms for the boas versus the pythons because they're pathogens that boas can be carriers for and not as severely affected as pythons. So this is the boa room. Is this still working, you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Okay, so this is a stack of enclosures that are in progress. We've got 4 big boas waiting for that. You can see all of our enclosures are different. We're fans of reusing items to turn them into enclosures. So these are display cases.
I mean, it definitely works.
Yeah.
We commonly talk about right. We commonly talk about there's a million ways to slice the pie and keep the animal healthy, or fillet the fish, however. So
some of the boas. This is a Guyana BCC in here. And we've got a Doomy. This is the anacondas. This yellow anaconda is one of the worst cases we've taken in of injuries. I don't know if you guys saw posts about him, but he was left with a live rat in his enclosure for several days, and I honestly didn't think he was going to survive.
Oh, wow.
But we managed to get through it. So he has a heated water bath that he gets into from inside his enclosure. Eventually, we're going to build him a bigger one that has a big plexiglass aquarium on the bottom.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
This is a Peruvian BCC. She's pretty special. And then we've got a green anaconda up here. He's a baby still, but sorry you guys can't see it very well. Oh, he's in his hide. What are you doing not swimming, buddy? Yeah. Sorry,
what's your guys' favorite animal in the boa room?
Sorry, what was that?
What's your guys' favorite animal in the boa room?
I'm gonna go back closer to the Wi-Fi because I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. What's your guys' favorite animal and what's your guys' favorite snake in that room?
Dang it, we're having technical difficulties.
Oh,
this channel's good for that.
Yeah. What's your guys' favorite snake?
You able to hear us?
We're back in the office now, so we're closer to the Wi-Fi.
You're not able to hear anybody? No?
Hear you guys.
Every time whenever
Yeah.
switches around.
Is your volume up all the way on your phone?
Well, I was worried this was going to happen.
Oh.
Let's sit for a minute.
Might even have to mute it, unmute it.
Is that getting better? Yeah, we're back in the office.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can hear you.
Can you hear us?
It's just breaking up. If you guys can hear us, we'll still run through and do the rest of the tour and then come
Oh
back.
yeah. We can still hear you guys.
Yeah, we can still hear you.
So I can hear what you guys were saying. You're asking questions. I'm going to ignore you for a minute.
It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll save them.
All right. We'll save them. We'll wait until after the tour of the.
Okay, I'm going to go do a quick run through to the Python room in the ICU so you can see quarantine in an ICU really quick.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
I can't tell.
There we go.
Okay.
Hi, Chris.
Looks like you're getting video. I'm just going to run through real quick because I can't hear you guys. So we just have a bathroom with hot water for cleaning enclosures and everything. ICU, yeah, bathtub. So if we have someone that needs a bath or skin treatments, we can close them in there. This is the Python room. So we have a wall of carpet pythons on this side. Looks like Indy's saying hi. There's Freya, her Brettles python. Indy's out and about. Oh, darn. So it's kind of a mess, too. We've got blood pythons on the bottom here. There's Rowan. She's a beast. Hey. And then we've got a couple of berms. Hi, Ludo. That guy's stunted severely. He's 9 years old. He should be way bigger than that.
Wow.
Oriana. Here's Fable. This is the kid that I call Little Chicken because she chewed on me really good one day when my hand smelled like chicken. That was a good lesson learned. Ledge is back there. Oh, I have somebody that shed. That's cool. That's another carpet python. Here's what the big guys are. So, this stack of enclosures that you see here behind the table, sorry, it's a mess. This enclosure is 11 or 12 feet long by 3 feet deep by 3 feet high. It's a stack of 4. So this is actually for the big mainland retics, but we're not finished setting it back up yet. So this is Valak. He's our biggest guy. He's asleep. No, I'm not going to wake him up. There's Willie. He goes to most of our shows with us. He's really good. I don't know if you'll be able to see Lilith or not. There she is. She's one of our most popular snakes also. She goes to a lot of shows with us. Oh, we've got a little guy looking to say hi to you guys. That's Lyric. He's our Motley Golden Child. I always said if I was going to purchase a snake, this would be the one I would actually be willing to spend money on, but he ended up getting donated to Snake House anyway, so I was pretty lucky.
Imagine that.
No,
I wish someone would donate me one.
I know. No, he's not for adoption. Don't even ask. These are actually just ball pythons here. And then, oh, look, Monty's out. So this is our male purple albino. I jokingly call him Lilith's understudy. Our big female purple albino is who goes to all the shows, and she's, a big 16-footer or something. And so if she can go, I always take her. But if she's in shed or something, I'll take this guy. Oh, this guy's out. So these two are pretty special. If you want to hear about them, so you can see. Hey, kid. Around saying hi to us. So these two are 17-year-old, 100% pure Kalatoa super dwarfs. They're F1. So you guys, I'm sure, know that means they're the first generation born in captivity from wild parents. These guys were surrendered because they were very, very sick. And the owner and the person that was going to take them feared that they wouldn't survive being shipped to their new location. So they've been here at Snake House for a couple of years now, and they're doing great. So now I got to decide if I'm going to breed them again or not. That's a whole nother topic, right? Okay. We're going to go back to the office so we can Oh no, I'm missing ICU. There's too much. There's too much to show you. It's ridiculous. So this is the roomed ICU. So 2 doors. Again, it's kind of a mess, but we're not about looks here. We're all about function. So ICU or quarantine, we have 14 snakes in quarantine right now. All of them in here are healthy, but they need to stay quarantined for at least 3 months. And some of these guys are actually ready to move out of quarantine and into the general population. We just haven't had time yet to do it. But we've got Luna down here. She's one of our most popular show snakes because she's really outgoing. Rocco, one-eyed Burm. He's a bit of a hissy monster, but once he's out, he's good. And of course, there's boas in here. There's always boas in here. That's the most common. I can't actually tell if you guys are seeing the animals or not.
Yeah.
You can see them.
Yeah, okay. That's funny. It's working better in here than it was in the boa. This is a snake that was donated to us from one of the reptile zoos in the area. He's had multiple surgeries on his nose because he had stenotic nares and the surgeries kept failing. He's an albino granite Burm, but he's kind of psycho because he had to be tube fed for so long and he's had so many surgeries that he just is out of food. So that's a Sara only snake, as we call it. Nobody gets to get him out unless I'm here to help. There's a stack of tubs over here. This is Eve. Hey, kiddo. She's hungry, so she's probably gonna smack me. Yeah. No, I don't have food for you. That's later, kiddo. And then we've got a bunch of ball pythons and a king snake in there that they need to be in quarantine for a while. Okay, that's the tour.
Nice.
That's the bug in there. We've got roaches here, super worms for the lizards. And Ursa the super poodle. Doesn't matter what I'm doing, there's always a dog with me somewhere. Okay, so back in the office here. There we go.
It's awesome.
So what's your guys' favorite snakes to work with?
Oh gosh, I'm one of those people that can't ever seem to make up my mind. That's why I have so many animals. I mean, as a veterinarian, I've been working with all kinds of animals. So even just to limit it to snakes is a big one. Gosh. Boas have been my favorite for a long time because they're so mellow. I actually love doing education. And so it's kind of hard to do a good educational program with a retic that's running all amok all over the room, you know? But I do really enjoy the retics because of how smart they are and, you know, how interactive they are. It's just, they're a lot more work, I think, than the boas. That's why I don't actually recommend retics for most people.
Right.
They're definitely a hand.
Yeah. Not a beginner.
Yeah. Every week, somebody puts my favorite snake, and I tell them a different one every week.
All of them.
Do you have a favorite?
Probably the retics.
Retics. Mirko says his favorite.
They are fun.
Nah, I don't blame it falling in love with retics.
Yeah.
So, you guys had first gen or wild caught Calatoas, the 100% male and female. When you guys measured those, what's like, how old are they and what size are they? Because those are labeled as a super dwarf animal. So that's kind of what.
Well, the Calatoa is the second smallest of the super dwarfs, right? So they should be pretty darn small. And there's a lot of people out there that are saying super dwarfs are the way to go, which I definitely support because the smaller retic is much safer and easier to manage. Mm-hmm. I personally love the giants. I'll never not love the really big guys, but these Calatoas are actually, I think, pretty important to point out how big they actually are. Being the second smallest of the super dwarfs, Laura and Realm are both 17. They're going to be 18 years old soon. And their birth date is known because they were F1, so hatched in captivity, so that we have a hatch date. And what did we weigh?
I was just thinking
We
that.
just weighed them.
Yeah, probably mid-30s.
Yeah, I mean, they're like 35 pounds, probably 12 feet,
Still
maybe
pretty big.
14 feet.
Yeah.
If I had my computer on, I could look up their records. We have so many snakes, I can't ever remember the real measurement, but that's person, that's not something that just in your, I don't know, a single mom with little kids running around and nobody to help. It's super, they're absolutely the way to go, but still a big responsibility.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Also
So.
to get them that big, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely looked pretty healthy. So.
Yeah, they're doing great now. They had actually positive blood cultures for a type of bacteria that is actually really common. It wasn't difficult to get rid of. And the female had elevated kidney values, and so she had a kidney infection also. That we had them on antibiotics for several months, actually. Probably 3 or 4 months, and they're doing great now. I gotta decide if we're gonna breed them or not. I have somebody that's willing to take the babies and have it be added into the genetic population, because you need some genetic diversity for these guys. There are not that many out there.
Right.
And currently, two are a different line than the more common ones right now that are breeding. So I don't know. It's a big responsibility. I worry if we do decide to do it, then we're putting them to risk. If she ends up having issues or gets egg bound or something, or who knows, maybe they'd fight, or Laura's going to end up being a booger or something, and that changes how we can handle them. So I haven't really decided what I want to do yet.
Yeah, because males can definitely be fun during breeding season.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no. Well, Laura, he's the worst one in the building. When he gets a bee in his butt and is looking for girls, he can be a real challenge. He's also a Sarah only snake. We have a hand.
Back up.
Yeah. That Mirko and our other volunteers know you don't even open that door if our team is here to really deal with them, because a male retic in breeding mode can do some damage.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's crazy how much the attitude changes too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's more than just like a food strike where they strike and let go, an accidental food strike. That's they bite you thinking that they're fighting another male, and from what I like, they'll roll, with it, and it'll just tear you wide open.
But there even seems a
Yeah.
between the strength between the male and female.
Yeah.
What was
I've
the question?
noticed.
Okay.
Oh,
Josh.
no. Go ahead, Josh.
Oh no, I was saying it seems to be a difference in the strength between the male and females. Whenever you pull them out, it just seems like they have just the way they wrap around your arm or whatever. The muscles on a male compared to a female just kind of wants to keep on going. The male will hang on. And there's definitely a lot of power in males. Even though they're a little bit smaller, I still feel like it's just all muscle there.
Yeah, well, they're more motivated too. I mean, if you think about it, if they're protect their territory, fight for their right to mate, they're going to be much more driven to actually fight. They're not just necessarily defending themselves. The female just wants to defend her nest or her territory or whatever. That's very different than being in what do you call it? Battle mode. I've heard people call it.
I could see why. Definitely.
So what's some like common health problems that you guys see with new intakes and even in your line of work at work,
Oh gosh. health problems in our line of work. Is that what you said?
Well, I just didn't really see the take-ins.
I'm sorry.
Take-ins.
Our internet's
Yeah.
so bad.
Just talking about the
Oh yeah. So
The most common stuff we see is, like I said before, it's almost always husbandry driven. So we get a lot of stuff with respiratory illness or bad shed issues, are main things. Or if it's like a mouth rot kind of a situation, sometimes there's a broken tooth or something. Or also, it's not always health either. It's behavioral. Sometimes these issues are arising from stress and they're striking because they're scared or something. So
tops.
yeah, screen tops, that's a common one. Most of the snakes that we take in, the owners will say that they're scared of them. They're going to bite, reach right in and pick them up, no problem, because it's just a matter of knowing their body language and what drives them. And I think most of the behavioral problems are fixed. Health problems too are fixed with husbandry. That's actually why I try actually not to see a lot of snakes at my work as a veterinarian. I primarily do dogs and cats for my veterinary job. And one thing is I'm too busy with the dogs and cat stuff to really see a lot of snake appointments. So I keep all the snake stuff separate at Snake House because I want people to be comfortable reaching out to me for information as a veterinarian. Mm-hmm. I think there's a kind of a bad rap for exotic pet owners about costing, actually not knowing very much about some of the different species. And so I've tried to sort of keep that separate to say, hey, it's true, not everybody knows what they're doing, but it's also not, vets aren't bad.
Right.
That's kind of an odd topic.
Right. I mean, you guys are mostly trying to help save people's pets,
Yeah.
It's, so.
One, there's a lot of problems, I think, here in our area of animals that don't have the money to actually take care of them or get veterinary care.
Mm-hmm.
I think in other parts of the country that's a little bit, but veterinary care costs money. There's medication is very common, and so I can give some free advice to ask your vet about veterinary care. But honestly, it's husbandry. pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah. So when it comes to, I guess actually I got a different question. What you guys, when you guys go and do shows like educational wise, do you guys like go to schools or what kind of, like, who'd you guys go put on shows for? Like when you go to do it, like, is it school? Yeah. Do you guys,
I think.
Oh.
Yeah, your screen's lagging a little bit.
Do my link.
To do what?
Restart my link or reload it or something, because I hear
yeah. If you back out, re-click it, yeah, you can come back in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can do that.
I'm gonna try. Everybody, take a bathroom break. I'm gonna try reloading this.
Okay.
All right.
Hang on.
Good time. We need to get everybody better Wi-Fi.
It's just weird that Conrad doesn't have an issue, and he looks like he's in the
middle of nowhere. Yeah,
dude, I'm running off I'm not even running off Wi-Fi. I got the router right there, but
that might be the issue.
That's like 3 or 4 people that we've had connection issues.
I don't use my Wi-Fi. I actually get like full 4G.
Yeah, well, maybe
like service from it.
There, she's back. Is this? It's still a little skippy. Did you try?
Skippy.
Did you try maybe turning off your Wi-Fi
and just running off?
Yeah, I'm not connected to Wi-Fi, so I don't know how.
I don't know if maybe
it's getting better now. Actually, our building is a metal lined building. There's no cell service in here anyway, so it's all Wi-Fi. But woods and
Yeah.
not perfect.
Yeah, it's still
I think
lagging and skipping a little bit.
It's crazy.
asking about
Yeah. What when you guys go do educational shows, like who'd you put them on for? Like, did you guys go to schools or?
we honestly haven't had a lot of time to do as many educational programs as we would like, but we started the last couple of years. We were trying to get to reptile shows to provide an example for people that go to the shows of what an adult retic or an adult burm or an adult boa is gonna be like for handling. So we try to take our bigger snakes. That's Luna the burm and Lilith the big purple albino retic. They always go and they're so good I can actually let people handle them. And so nobody takes the big snakes out to the shows in this area. And so we're actually not there trying to adopt out animals or anything. We're just there to be an example. And it does kind of attract, House is going to be there with the big snakes. That's fun. That's what people want to see. It gives them an outlet for where to go see these animals and not necessarily buy one on a whim. They get to actually see what it's going to become. We have had people learn with ours, they want a retic and they end up getting one for a burm or something in the future. We've also had people say, oh my God, that's what that baby's going to turn into. I don't want one of these.
Right.
But we do get requests for specific lectures. So we've taught a lot of classes for the Herp Society in our area. Mainly if they have a speaker that backs out or they have trouble filling a spot. They do a lecture every month. They're always backups. So I've probably done 4 or 5 for them. And I kind of just let them say whatever topic they want and I'll just come up with something. And then just recently we had one that we were really excited about. We actually were asked to do a 2-hour lecture for King County Animal Control at the Police Academy. That got not canceled, but it's getting rescheduled because of the darn coronavirus thing. Everybody's on quarantine. So I really hope that that's going to actually happen because that speaks a lot to what the police are doing and animal control, that they're reaching out to us to learn more. What they told me they wanted me to talk about is how to identify when one of these pets needs help, how to recognize neglect, and how to recognize health problems that are not getting the care that they need. I think that's pretty cool. That's we're awesome. Starting to get. That's amazing, right? I mean, actually have the police shooting for us and saying these are pets that deserve good care. That's amazing. Right. That's a huge step in the right direction for sure. Everybody's talking about banning them, and here we're talking about them. So I hope that gets scheduled again. What an opportunity.
Yeah,
we've also
that would definitely be awesome.
Oh, I know. I've also gone to elementary schools or like 4-H clubs. Just about anybody that's interested in learning about these guys, I'm willing to go talk to them because if kids about these animals when they're young, they're still maybe a little afraid, but you stand in front of a crowd of 4th graders with a 12-foot long snake, see it in real life, they'll never forget what you're going to tell them that day. So it's a really good way to pass on a message.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, education's like the most important part to this hobby, it's knowing how to properly care and handle your animals. So,
and the hobby is growing. I think there's a lot more people getting interested in reptiles as pets than there used to be. So, I mean, we are making a difference. All people like you guys that are out there trying to talk about it, I think is important. The more exposure in good light that they can get, the better off we are. There are a lot of people that are posting, negative things about them. So we got to be careful about what we put out there. But honestly, I'd rather get bit by a 15-foot retic than So it really
Yeah.
is as people make it
Right.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And dog bite isn't good.
No, not at all.
So-
I'd love to point out a site to the listeners. If anybody, if you got, hopefully you can still hear me because I can't hear you guys, but our website is snake.com. Yeah, it's.
We should be able to put a link in, right?
I don't.
And
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, tomorrow.
So just
Awesome. Tomorrow when I repost the video.
We're trying to make the website a source of education for people also.
Okay.
There isn't a lot of good resources out there with, straight knowledge and, give people somewhere to go to read about husbandry and all that. So we do have quite a lot on there. And if anybody wants us to add things, we'll continue to add to it.
All right.
Definitely.
Yeah, I can definitely post your website's link and your Facebook page link. And you guys have an Instagram, right?
I couldn't hear any of that. I'm so sorry.
Oh, sorry. Do you guys have an Instagram?
If you want to wait a few minutes, I can restart my Wi-Fi and sign back in.
It's up to you.
Yeah, it's not too bad. We can hear you.
Yeah.
It's just whether or not you can hear us.
Yeah, sort of. I feel bad that I can't hear your questions.
Let's see.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you guys had I believe I tagged you on Instagram. So tomorrow when I repost this video, I can throw up your guys' Facebook page link, your Instagram link, and then your website all on the YouTube video info or description. So
yeah, most of I do an educational post on Facebook. I try to do one every day. Sometimes they're better than others, depending on how busy we are. But we did just finally get more than 1,000 likes on Facebook, and so that's where I tend to post little write-ups and stuff. Instagram is kind of shorter, just fun pictures here and there, but it's growing. We really just need people to spread the message that these animals deserve good care, and it's actually not that hard to provide it. It's easier to provide good care for these snakes than it is for a dog or a cat. So there's just no reason to. There isn't really very many good reasons to have to get rid of your pet snake. Honestly, if you just don't want it, fine. Be honest and say that. But
no, I mean they don't even bark. They're not even noisy pets. Like if you like a quiet home, you'd love a home filled with snakes, that's for sure.
They're not gonna chew your shoes and couch.
Right.
All right. Well, do you have any more questions, Conrad?
No, do you guys, Josh?
No.
Oh.
Did you have anything else that you wanted to speak about?
No, it's so I'm just kind of bummed our internet's so bad, so guys.
That's okay.
We can tell the listeners if anybody has questions for us to message us through Facebook or email me. I'm happy to talk to pretty much anybody. Like I said, more education the better. I want people to keep their snakes, so feel free to reach out.
Because most people get into it because they see it as, they like the animal, and it'd be nice to see them stick with it. Right. And it is as simple as just something wrong with their husbandry if it won't eat or if it's not shedding right. But there's simple ways of fixing everything. It'd be nice if people would just reach out more and, people would lend the help and advice that they need.
I think she heard maybe 3 words out of all of that.
You guys, I'm gonna sign off and restart my Wi-Fi. If you guys are still there when I get back, cool. If not, then I can't hear anything everything you're saying. So I'll be back
Okay.
shortly. Sorry. I'm gonna try to fix that.
Here.
All right. So, on that note, yeah, like Josh was saying, it's definitely easier to tweak your husbandry to keep your snakes healthy and
buy what you like. Don't just buy something because it's cheap. Buy something that you're going to enjoy looking at every day and go, wow, I have that. I think people, they buy things because it's $50. But they don't even care about it. It's just because it was cheap. And I hate seeing it.
Oh, dude,
impulse.
Since starting working at a pet store, I mean, I see so much spontaneous buying. It's ridiculous.
What can I buy? It's cheaper.
Yeah, well, it's just people come in. The one dude came in and was like, I want a bearded dragon, but I don't know anything about him. And then left with the bearded dragon. I'm like, we give them care sheets and everything, but didn't know not one thing about it. It's like, at least do a little bit of research first. Know something.
Right.
He was like, oh, it costs that much for the cage, and what do they eat? Like, knew nothing.
You able to schedule your own schedule now that you're manager?
No, it doesn't work like that.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Store manager gets to do that, not me. I just get to override returns and count drawers.
Oh, wow.
Have you ever seen inside of a heat mat?
Mm-mm.
All right, so I came across one the other day, and I just figured I'd cut it.
Hold on.
And see what's in it, out of curiosity.
No.
And
It's not important right now.
like an actual that you'd have on racks and stuff. It was just little thin wires going all the way through it.
Yeah,
I've never cut one open to see what was in it.
Jamie wants some stickers.
Stickers.
Message one of any of us with address and everything, and we'll get you some sent out.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if anyone received the ones that were sent out. Did you guys receive the ones I sent you?
No, not yet.
All right. They should be there tomorrow or the next day, then. Hopefully. Let me know. Because that's when everyone should receive them, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'll let you know. But
Go do something.
there's Lana.
Yeah. She's just standing there bothering me.
What?
Nothing. Bye.
Good.
Like, I'm still live here. Like, what are you doing?
She wants to be a part.
That's fine, but she's just standing there swinging on the door and stuff. Girls are weird.
Girls are.
Oh, hat.
Hats, yeah. She's gonna print them probably tomorrow and get them sent out. We finally got the design figured out and all the problems solved with that.
Who?
The same person Scott went through. Some like mom and pop shop, I think, in New Jersey or something like that.
Yeah.
They don't. I like had to email them everything and whatnot, but yeah, I paid for them and should be here hopefully in a couple days.
All right. You do. Oh, there we go.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey, I can hear you guys. That sounds way better.
That's good. That's good. Good.
About every couple of hours up here, we have to turn the Wi-Fi off and restart it. Sorry.
Yeah. No problem. It happens.
It happens.
The last show we did, same thing, because the Wi-Fi's been off lately.
Yeah. I think everybody's has been messing up recently.
Luck out because we're on computer. And
Yeah. I do need to run a cord to mine soon.
It's way better. I know. I can
Yeah.
actually.
completely clear. It's not skipping.
No, it sounds
Right.
great. So now you can ask me questions. Sorry.
What was Josh? You had a question.
Well, no, that's great. So what would you usually suggest to someone if they were having husbandry problems or, different problems? How would you go about, helping someone out on that?
Oh gosh.
I think it sounds like
what would
case,
your suggestions be,
case by case.
Yeah, it is case by case because, but there are a few like kind of offenders though, you know. So sometimes it most commonly the problem is due to dehydration or inappropriate temperatures, and so a lot of the coaching that I do is it always is going to start with me having them send pictures of the enclosure, and I just want to know exactly what the setup is and for the kind of snakes that are getting surrendered most often, you know, like ball pythons and colubrids or, you know, little guys, or boas are really common. It's in a screen top enclosure or something with a ceramic heat emitter, and it's just like a microwave oven with no humidity at all. You know, so
into a desert.
Yeah.
It's always going to depend on what their current setup is, and if they have a good setup, you know, so they've got the humidity right or their heat right, then we get into more detail about what kind of snake is it, what are the behaviors that you're seeing, or I'll have them send me pictures of the actual animal and try to figure out what it is that they need to change. But it's usually going to come down to humidity, temperature, substrate type, how are they cleaning, how are they feeding, and is the animal feeling exposed or not. So it's really, that's pretty much it.
Right.
Which is why I say they're really not that hard to take care of if you just get a few select checkpoints right.
Yeah. Once you get it figured out, it's easy after that.
Yeah. I do try to encourage people also to not have to rely on reptile only or snake only products. You can see in Snake House when we're walking through, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's not, you know, reptile specific. Like I use plastic shoe boxes for hides, or the thermometers is a good topic that a lot of people discuss all the time, is if you're going to use a thermostat, I guess, what kind of thermostat to use. And I actually do use the cheap ones. I use the plant ones that are, you know, $18 each instead of the Herbstat, the really nice ones. But that's because I have 70 snakes, and I'm not okay with a stack of, you know, 10 snakes or 6 snakes being run by only one thermostat. A lot of people will have their snakes in a rack system, and the thermostat's reading the center tub. But so then you actually get a snake on top that's too hot and a snake on the bottom that's too cold. And so every single enclosure I have has a thermostat in it, and that's actually why I use the cheap ones. They're good enough to give me, you know, a 3 to 5 degree reading is good enough in my mind.
Yeah, they definitely work pretty good. Now, I'm trying to think of the different brands. So what brands do you guys use? Do you know what brand it is?
I have no idea.
No.
I mean, we are costing ourselves a tremendous amount of Jumpstart's one of them. That's not the new one, but
yeah, that's the one we have.
I think I have links to them on my website actually. But I honestly will use whatever plant one is on sale on Amazon at the time. So the Jumpstart was the one I was using initially. I think those were like $30 or something last time I looked, and so I did find a new one that's $18. And so some of my enclosures have 2 of those in them too. I would also point out that the whole temperature question for a sick snake is a little bit more complicated than just saying, okay, what's your hot and what's your cold, is how do you deliver that heat, and, you know, how much variation is there. I find a lot of mistakes are in, yeah, we know what the hot spot is, or we're heating it to a certain temperature, but the way you set it up runs your heat more than it should, or your cold side gets colder than you think. There's too much fluctuation. So my really big enclosures that are, you know, 12 feet long, or even the 8-footers, actually have a thermostat running the cold side and the hot side both. So talk about an expensive list of thermostats. Some of these enclosures have 2 or 3 thermostats.
Yeah.
Call me OCD picky, but that is what that's how it's.
It definitely makes sense, especially with the bigger enclosures, though. To do something.
See, I've always went out and bought I forgot, they're like the VE 200s or whatever, and I got one of those hooked up to each one of vivariums. How often do those jump starts and stuff like that like fail on you guys? Have you guys ever had one fail?
Yeah, I've had several. I mean, I have probably 80 of them. I don't know, 90 of them.
Mhm.
So yeah, anytime you have a bunch of them, you're going to get failures in some of my radiant heat panels. You know, I mean, any product can fail.
Yeah.
I think the key with the thermostats is the ones that I've had fail are ones that have gotten knocked around a little bit. So like if the probe is just hanging or loose and your retic is spread or something, then it'll kind of loosen. That kind of stuff. I tape the probe with duct tape to the floor of the enclosure so that it's kind of protected. And in the ones that aren't getting pulled on or moved around, I haven't had any of those fail, actually.
Okay.
All right.
I had one where the
James?
probe got yanked off on my herpstat, actually. So there's on my herpstats than these cheap ones. But,
Yeah.
Jamie says she has a thermostat called iPower.
iPower, yeah, I've heard of those.
Oh, yeah.
Not bad.
All right.
Incubird's a new one that I wanted to try that I've heard of.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those are,
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so
you guys, it's
I
breaking
mean,
up again. I'll lose it.
is it?
yeah, but
Well,
Unless you had anything left that you wanted to say to everybody, I think we're pretty much gonna wrap it up if that's all right.
Yeah,
If you can hear us.
yeah. I mean, we'll have to, since it's not working well. But parting
well,
bit of advice would be to say,
It's cutting out real bad.
and if you don't feel like you're good enthusiasm,
Well,
so you're cutting out like super bad there. I didn't catch a single word. There you go. All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, if you can hear us, thank you.
Yeah, if you can hear us, and I'll message you guys.
Yeah. Thank you for
All
joining.
right.
Nice
Thank you,
meeting you.
guys.
Guys, later.
Bye. What a mess. All right.
What is going on with like everyone's Wi-Fi?
Oh,
my
man, that's a mess. All right.
Yeah. So
2 days from now, right?
yeah, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going live with Robert Powers. I know he deals with hog noses and some others, so it's gonna be fun.
We haven't had those yet.
No, we haven't.
Ah, that'd be cool. All right. Well, yeah, we'll make sure we tell him to go stand next to a cell phone tower.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Bring your hog. I don't.
Use the computer. Like, start asking if they have an email, if they have a camera. But the only issue is whenever it comes to if they want to do a walkthrough,
We can't.
they can't do it with them.
Yep.
So, I don't know. Might have to start trying to see if people can use their computer over their cell phones.
Yeah, they even said their connections are bad to begin with, even with their Wi-Fi. So, okay. Well, good night, guys.
If you guys want a shirt, make sure you head over to the store that's not available yet. Tell
Coming.
Keith to get on it.
Coming soon.
No banks open.
All right. Later.
What